All right, let's jump right into a really fascinating idea, especially in our super connected world. The strange power of people who are, well, basically ghosts online.
I mean, think about it for a second. You meet someone new, maybe at work or a party, and out of curiosity, you do that quick little search on social media. And crickets. Nothing. No profile, no tagged pictures, not a single digital footprint. It's kind of weird, right? A little jarring, even. It immediately makes you stop and wonder what's going on.
You've got these two extremes. On one hand, you have the person whose life is an open book online. You see the perfect grid, the daily stories, the nonstop updates. You see their lunch, their vacation, their random thoughts. You almost feel like you know them. But then there's the digital ghost. They're a total mystery, an enigma in an age where oversharing is the norm.
And let's be honest with ourselves. What's our first reaction when we run into that mystery? Our minds tend to jump to some pretty specific and not always positive conclusions. We think, are they being secretive? Or even, do they have something to hide? We might even make the leap to assuming they're just boring. Or maybe they're some kind of Luddite who hates technology and just wants to be left alone. Those are the stories we immediately tell ourselves.
But hold on, let's just pause right there for a second. What if every single one of those snap judgments is completely, totally wrong? What if we're looking at this whole thing from the wrong angle? What if their silence isn't about lacking something? What if it's actually about having something? Something different? A kind of quiet confidence, maybe? A whole other type of influence? What if their digital absence is actually a form of power? Okay, so let's put a name to this. We're calling it silent power. And here's what's so cool about this concept. It flips the script. It's not about being left out. It's about intentionally opting out. It's the idea that you gain this social currency, this mystique, because you're not playing the social media game. Your influence, your real clout, comes from who you are in the real world, face to face, not from the persona you broadcast online. So, to really get this, we need to dive into the psychology behind it all. Let's start debunking some of those myths we all have about the so-called digital ghost. This chart really lays it out perfectly. That first judgment, secretive and untrustworthy, gets replaced with the reality they're just intentionally private. It's a choice. And that assumption that they must be uninteresting or boring, well, turns out they often just prefer experiencing life instead of constantly stopping to document it. And maybe the biggest myth of all, that they're antisocial, the truth is often the exact opposite. They might have incredibly deep and meaningful connections, but they're happening in real life. So you have to realize this all comes from a place of strength. It's fueled by a confidence that doesn't need likes and followers to feel validated. It's about a deep appreciation for the genuine experience, the actual moment, more than the photo of it. These are people who tend to have a really strong sense of who they are, separate from any online brand. And yeah, they maintain that little bit of mystique. And you know what? They're often just prioritizing their own mental peace over all that digital noise.
Okay, so what does this all mean? What message is actually being sent when someone chooses to be digitally absent? Because in a world of constant noise, choosing silence is a statement in itself.
A really loud one, actually.
So think about the signals their silence sends. Number one, it says, I am present. My focus is right here, right now, not on crafting a perfect post about it for later. Number two, it just radiates confidence. It says my self-worth comes from inside, not from how many followers I have. And number three, it's a declaration of control. I am intentional. I decide who gets access to my life and my information, not some algorithm.
And this quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? In an age of oversharing, the greatest luxury is privacy. True influence is lived, not just posted. It's such a powerful reminder that the most important stuff, the really meaningful stuff, usually happens when the phone is put away. So, I'll leave you with this to chew on. Think about your own digital life, your online presence, or maybe your absence. What story is it really telling? What kind of power does it truly hold? Something to think about. Thanks so much for diving into this with me.